All right, let's get to Friday feedback for the week. You write to me. I read some of your emails, messages, comments, YouTube replies, whatever, respond, and then we discuss. You can always email info@davidpakman.com if you have something to say, but comments on any of the platforms where we publish our videos might end up on Friday feedback. We start today with Ryan Carthen, who said, Trump 2024, let's go. Are you going to move out of the country after Trump wins? LOL. You people are crazy. You know, the entire, like, why are you going to move out people? It always has struck me as kind of interesting because, first of all, you often hear these right wingers, number one, laugh about left wingers who say, oh, this makes me want to leave the country. But also sometimes they themselves will say, I'm going to leave the country if my candidate doesn't win, without acknowledging, number one, that most of the places they probably want to go to, it's not that easy to move to. And secondly, the places they would need to go to find the true right-wing authoritarian government they want are not the sorts of countries they would likely want to live in. And many of them are overtly Islamic countries that I can't imagine they would actually enjoy living in, to find the equivalent of what they want in these authoritarian, theocratic type regimes. So listen, the reality is people in the bluest of blue states have a standard of living that is similar to countries in Northern Europe. If you look at the HDI, Human Development Index, by state, what you find is that states like Maryland, New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Maine, the liberal states, they have standards of living that are similar to Norway and Denmark and Sweden, etc. So the sick reality is that it's the people in the red states that will really be hurt more. I don't want to diminish what happens in blue states, but it's the red staters that are really going to suffer if there is a Trump presidency. Ghost wrote, Democrats think they are entitled to our vote. They think they can sit there and do whatever they want, and we are supposed to vote blue no matter who. That's just insane, and it's why we're in this situation in the first place. They've done nothing to earn anyone's vote. Democrats will lose, and they will have no one to blame but themselves. Yeah, you know, there's this thing where, like, Trump recently blamed Republican voters for something, and there's this back and forth, like, should elected officials blame themselves, or should they blame voters, or should they blame the opposition voters? Who is to blame? I reject the notion of anybody, at least on this show, doing vote blue no matter who. I don't think that that's something I have ever even alluded to. Every election, I evaluate the choices. And when I look at Trump and Biden, RFK, I don't even remember whether Marianne Williamson's running at this point, Jill Stein, Cornel West. If I just zoom out and go, okay, who do I think here has the experience that's necessary, the positions I like, the shot at winning, consensus building ability? What if I just look at everything together? Biden's my preference along those lines. And so I'm going to vote Biden. Where is the vote blue no matter who? And then for people who are writing to me saying, hey, I'm unsure how I'm going to vote, I say to them, well, what matters to you? What are your principles? Which candidate is closest to that? What is the effect of your vote for one or the other or the other? I'm not hearing any vote blue no matter who stuff. I'm just not hearing it. If you are, then by all means, let me know, because I want to see examples of that. Okay, here's another idea from the subreddit for Joe Biden from Bossy81, who says, next move politically, psychedelics. David was asked what Biden's next move will be. I believe Biden should start to make a lot of noise regarding healing veterans through guided psychedelic therapy. It's a bipartisan issue, but in rural USA is where one finds the most veterans that need help. These therapies are being developed by companies like, and name some companies. Not only do these treatments assist in PTSD, they are also evidenced to be helpful in treating addiction, anxiety, and such. So 2 reasons why I don't believe Biden is going to go after this. Number one, it is not nearly as popular compared to cannabis decriminalization, legalization. And number two, there is a bit of a scandal right now within the psychedelics for treatment world, where there are allegations that some of the clinical trial results were falsified. And we covered it on the bonus show. It is still being investigated. It is still being explored. I can't imagine that it makes sense for Joe Biden to stick his finger into this at a time when, again, it's still being investigated, when allegedly there were falsifications that took place with regard to some of the efficacy of some of those interventions. So need more information. Legally, I'm for it. Medically, we're still gathering data. This is a depressing one. Someone canceled their membership to the show, which is fine. Okay, I mean, listen, that's how we make, you want to make money? That's how we make money. But it's fine for people to cancel. But the reason here doesn't make sense. This is Attackms5220 on the subreddit. I am canceling my subscription to the David Pakman Show. The refusal of people on this subreddit to call out left-wing shows for their obvious biased coverage of Russia, seeking ways to blame Ukraine for this war taking place and siding with the GOP, preventing Ukraine from getting military aid, has me disgusted. I made a post here calling out the Young Turks on their garbage coverage of Russia-Ukraine, and my post got deleted because I couldn't find a recording of a snippet from a stream in 2022. This was honestly enough to tell me what I need to know about the type of people and community I am supporting. I was then attacked here for playing League of Legends. No idea how the person knew I was a League of Legends player, and some progressive referred to all 300 million League players as incels. This was upvoted and the moderator had no issue. I don't want to be part of this toxic community. I do like David Pakman. I think he is the last and only genuinely non-biased, neutral person willing to call it as it is, but I simply cannot be giving my money to support the community he attracts. I've canceled my subscription to Sam Cedar already due to his coverage of the Ukraine war. It pains me to do this to David, but the thought that I'm supporting this type of community horrifies me. Listen, it's Reddit, okay? This would be like saying, hey, I'm not going to, in 2020, do you remember all the crazy stuff happening on Twitter related to Bernie? And it would be like, hold on, okay, I like Bernie, I like his policies, I'm going to donate to Bernie. No, I'm not going to donate to Bernie because of what's being said by random people on Twitter and on Reddit about Bernie. It doesn't make any sense. So listen, it bums me out. I hate to see it. I wish people wouldn't cancel because of what random people on the subreddit are saying. But it is what it is. It is what it is. You go to air with the audience you have. And that's what we're doing today. Okay, Fun Comparison asks, is anyone else worried about the street flooding from all the MAGA tears? I think we're going to need an umbrella to overcome the MAGA tears being made from them today after Dear Leader became a convicted felon. Yeah, they already seem to be over it. The MAGA people that were sobbing about Trump's conviction, they've already moved on to, it was rigged, it's meaningless, I'm voting for him anyway, it was Biden who went after him. They already seem to have gotten over it, and they are no longer crying. We put a poll up on our community tab on the YouTube channel asking what you believe the effect of the presidential debates will be. 129,000 of you voted. 52% of you believe that the debates will help Biden and hurt Trump. That's a majority. 15% believe that the debates will help Trump and hurt Biden. 18% believe that it will hurt both candidates by depressing turnout, I guess by just making people depressed about who the candidates are. And 15% of you believe that the debates will have no effect whatsoever. Very interesting numbers, I must say. And we got there was a post about the debate on the subreddit from Tripwire, who says, is the microphone thing really meaningful? And what they're referring to is that when the candidate's time is up during the debates, their mic will be muted. And they go on to write, in a broadcast context, the function of mics is to deliver audio to the electronic audience. They're not used for in-studio amplification. Trump's game of interrupting and keeping his opponent off balance may not be much changed by the mic cut rule. So as long as he and Biden are in the same physical space, the mic cut assures only that Trump won't be well heard by the audience. His shouting will be heard by Biden, and his voice might get into Biden's mic. Yeah, I'm mixed about the cutting of mics automatically when the time is up for the speakers during the debates. And part of it has to do with how far apart they are on the stage. This person is absolutely correct that if they're standing close to each other, if you cut Trump's mic and he keeps yelling, Biden's mic might actually pick it up and it will distract Biden. And so Biden could end up distracted. You'll kind of still hear Trump talking, but you might not clearly be able to say the triggered things that he is saying. In that context, I'd rather hear Trump. I'd rather just hear what he says and say, hey, this guy won't stop interrupting. That might hurt him. On the other hand, if by muting his mic, they are far enough apart that it won't be distracting to Biden, that it won't be picked up by Biden's microphone, and Biden can just address the camera, the moderator, and it angers Trump, then maybe it is a good tool. So I don't know. I'm mixed about, to be totally honest, I'm mixed about the cutting of mics. All right. And then Richard Lowther says, anybody voting blue is in a cult. How else can you explain wanting high crime taxes, inflation, transgender gone crazy? No thanks. I'll stay with Trump. Classic example. This is bonkers stuff. You can't talk this person out of these beliefs. I don't believe. The way we fight people like Richard Lowther is we just have to find two people who already agree with us and make sure that they decide to vote. That's the way forward. I don't think, at least not in the months between now and the election, I don't think we change this guy's mind if you're this far gone. If you disagree with me, let me know. info@davidpakman.com. Let me know your thoughts on anything covered in the show or not covered that you want covered. We've got a great bonus show coming up for you today. Sign up at joinpakman.com to get instant access